It is Ken Kendrick, everyone, co-founder of Country Roads Trust and owner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're playing in the World Series on Friday. Ken, how has the last 24 hours been for you? And big congratulations, first of all.
Well, thank you first. It's a whirlwind. I just literally landed. I'm in Arizona as we're speaking, and came from Philadelphia this morning. We were, as you might imagine, we were celebrating late into the evening last night because the achievement from these young guys was very worthy of a celebration. So it has been pretty amazing because we were not, we were a very, if we were a football team, we'd be a 25-point underdog. And we overcame that. And here we are going to the World Series.
Playing the Rangers, first game Friday night. You guys breezed through the wild card round, the NLDS. When you got to the NLCS, you came across a Phillies team that's very, very good. You guys were down 2-0, then down 3-2. You guys kept battling. What does that say about your team?
Well, I think of course, it's clear they don't have any give up in them. I think nothing intimidates them. And the setting in that ballpark in Philadelphia is probably as an intimidating setting as there is anywhere in sports. I mean, it's famous for the intensity of the crowd there. And it didn't seem to bother our guys. I mean, we certainly got our hats handed to us in the first two games, but we came home, got our act together, won 2 out of 3, went back down 3-2, and very few people expected us to win a game there. And lo and behold, we win 2 games. And there are a lot of sad people in Philadelphia, and it sure doesn't make me unhappy.
I do have to wonder, though, you played WVU baseball at your spring training facility in February. How much did that help down the stretch here, getting into the postseason and going to the World Series? Do we get any credit for that?
Nah, I think that was for both sides a warm-up game. The college players are, it's like in any sport. There's a difference in the high-end professional teams and really outstanding college teams. But I know it was a good experience for the boys from WVU, and we've done that more than once, and hopefully we'll be able to do it in the future.
Absolutely. I've said now that, oh, I guess our loss to the Diamondbacks wasn't as bad as everybody thought, right? Everybody was panicking. I'm like, that's a pretty good Diamondbacks team. It's okay.
Well, I
Let's
guess that they can look at it that way now, and in that we are where we are, and no one knew. And I certainly would have been one that would not have been predicting at the beginning of spring training that the Diamondbacks would be a World Series team. I think we expected our team to be an improved team this year. We were kind of pointing honestly towards next year being when we had 5 23-year-olds in our lineup in the seventh game, and that's pretty unheard of in Major League Baseball. It's a
absolutely.
sport where these young men have to earn their spurs in the minor leagues. You know a lot about it, being involved with the WVU team through your husband, and it's just remarkable that 23-year-olds can go out there and compete as successfully as our team has. And so we're pretty darn proud of them.
Absolutely. I mean, an exciting brand of baseball for sure.
Yeah,
The
the way they
college.
play. Yeah, you said exciting brand of baseball. There are those who are now beginning to say, this team plays an old school style of baseball. Baseball has evolved into a game where power arms, 100-mile-an-hour pitching, home runs are strikeouts and home runs are the dominant part of the game across all of professional baseball. And our team plays the game a little different. They play a little more like old guys like me played when we were young, and you get them on, get them, move them over, and get them in, as opposed to just hitting it for the fence, hoping you'll hit a home run. So we're fun to watch in that regard. We steal a lot of bases. We put a lot of pressure on the opponent. We play good defense. And what has really been amazing in this season is our pitching has come around, where our bullpen, which is a key part of any baseball team, was not really a formidable group at the beginning of the season. Through a series of maneuvering, that was done by our general manager, bringing in, trying this guy, trying that. We finally hit on a group that, if you go look at the data, it tells you they're a very strong part of our team now, when it wouldn't have been what would have been expected when the season began. So it's, a remarkable in-season turnaround in that part of our team.
You're right. Small ball, getting back to the fundamentals, that can certainly,
Yeah,
take teams by surprise
Randy
these days. Let's be honest.
Randy's teams, and my viewing of them, are more, well, they obviously have some power in this last year's team in particular, but they play a brand of ball that's like the kind that I learned to play when I was a young man.
Absolutely. The major, professional level is so much different than the collegiate level because you're able to call guys up from the minors. You're able to take advantage of trades. So just talk about, putting all those pieces together towards the end of the season that allowed this run, and all those pieces really fit together perfectly to allow you to have this run in the postseason to get to the World Series.
Well, you've nailed it, because if you look at our roster going to the World Series and you analyzed the numbers of games each and every one of those guys would have played, many of them would have played, and it's not just one or two, but more than that, 6 to 8 guys played a significant part of the year in the minor leagues. And they did well, and they got the opportunity to come to the majors, and fortunately were ready for the opportunity, ready for the challenge. And that's also been a significant change from what might have been expected when we started back in the spring.
Absolutely. I see your Diamondbacks hat. You have a WV shirt on. Of course, you are the co-founder of Country Roads Trust. You obviously know how to build winning programs. Can you talk about just your vision for Country Roads Trust and how proud you are of what
Well,
has
I'm very
come
proud.
about of
I'm
that?
very proud. It's on the ground, as you know, because you've worked with our group. But we have an on the ground in Morgantown group led by Stephen Ford, and Oliver Luck and I are kind of the outside forces, I guess, to promote and encourage, help bring investors and sponsors into the loop. We've under the rules of how NIL works, we work very closely, with the leadership at the university in the athletic department, and in each of the individual sports. And as you know, Amanda, we started this January, February of last year. So we're 18 to 20 months in. And I believe I'm right on this number. We have right at 300 athletes that we work with in one level or another. And that's across every sport on campus. And that's pretty remarkable to me. I had not understood how it would go when we started, because the focal points have been in the public eye, if you will, mostly football and men's basketball. Well, guess what? We have about 20 sports, about half female sports, half male sports, and we're working with every single sport on campus. And we have some extraordinary supporters, as you know, outside of those two primary programs, in women's soccer and in rifle and in rowing and in volleyball. Pretty remarkable across the whole landscape of mountaineer sports. We get our community of mountaineer loyalists are stepping up and helping us.
Absolutely. Well, you're a true mountaineer, Ken, and we appreciate your time. And I have a little something. I stole my son's Diamondbacks jersey that he got
Oh my goodness,
when.
look at that.
Yeah. If I can
Oh,
sit up there, yeah. So he's been
that's
wearing it
our
to school and wearing it proudly.
original. And did I note, as you pulled it on, there's a name on the back? Is that Randy Johnson? Yeah, he's,
The one and
of course,
only.
as those who follow our sport would know, he is, one of the greatest players in the history of the game, is a Hall of Famer. I had the really good fortune to be able to introduce him when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he's active with the Diamondbacks and has been traveling with us during the playoffs. He'll be at these games as we now go through the World Series, but probably he and Luis Gonzalez, our two greatest players.
Absolutely. Well, Ken, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're busy. We appreciate what you've done for Country Roads Trust. And 4 more wins, baby. Get that title. We're rooting
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. Well, I have a little thing I say, and it's mostly an inside comment, but when things are going well, and right now I think it's fair to say they are, my little phrase, I use it mostly inside the walls of the Diamondback offices, but today is a great day to be a D-back.
Exactly. All right. Good luck. Thanks, Ken.